Honestly, basketball's like I talk about all the time. Sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. Like, I just think it's a humbling game. I thought we got good looks, especially early. And then when we did get looks, we were locked in. We were locked in defensively for the most part in the first half, honestly, for about 17 minutes. And then they hit 3 threes in the second quarter there. But we got great looks. We got great looks at the rim in the first half. Second half, thank you. We come out, we throw the ball inside to this girl. She scores it. We get an opportunity again on, a loose ball. And we get, I think they had a block shot that led to a kick out 3 in transition. So, like, you talk about a 5-point play. We execute a set. Ella gets wide open, feet under, miss it. Transition, they get a 3 in a 6-point game. And it's just like that. Like, the wheels just kind of fell off for us there. But a group that's going to stay with it. And, just got to trust your work that you're going to make that the next game you get those shots, you're going to make them.
Coach, defensively, seemed like you guys kind of got off to a really good start. The zone really seemed to stymie them. Not sure if that was a 2-2-1 or a box and one that you were running, but what do you feel like was maybe working for you to get that result, and then offensively, what do you feel like they were doing that kind of forced you to make an adjustment? Yeah,
honestly, we just try to keep changing our defense. Try to keep Georgia off balance as much as possible. Try to keep Kenny. Kenny does such a good job with his playbook. Just try to keep him off balance. And I thought we did that for the most part. 32 points in the first half. Feel pretty good about that. And then in the second half, as they continued to make adjustments, we couldn't carry over what was being said in the flow of the game or kind of accumulate knowledge to make the adjustments in the moment. And you talk about an experienced ball club on the other end, and then some young kids in spots for us that are huge moments. And you try to get them to learn as the game goes on. And I trust that Lana and KP are going to continue to work and get better for us because they want it that badly. And I'm super proud of the way they battled today.
Lana, I guess the adjustment for you was the fact that defensively seemed like you were a lot better, a lot more in position, able to stay on the court a lot longer. What do you feel like was the biggest change for you? And seemed like at least in the paint defensively tonight, it was a pretty solid effort on your end against Strack.
Yeah, I think tonight's game, it started off with a good matchup. Obviously, going against bigger players who are just as physical as me, it allows me to kind of dig in. Also, the fact that I was smarter with my fouls. I feel like a lot of times I pick up too early ones, and that kind of limits how much I can be on the court. So just being able to play smart and play against people a similar size, that helped me a lot tonight.
Rashenda, as far as just the shot making, what do you feel like was maybe kind of was it a mental block for you? I mean, it seems like you up to this point had been shooting the ball a lot better from 3 as of late until tonight.
As far as our team shooting from the 3-point line, I just think it's just a matter of confidence. In those big moments, they talk about it all the time. Knocking the shots down that you would in the first half that you would in the second half. And I think we got the looks that we wanted. They just didn't go in. And so I think our next step is finding out, like, how we navigate even though the shots don't go in. What do we do to give ourselves a chance to accumulate some points even though we did not hit that first 3 or that pull-up? Like, what second chance points can we do?
Rashenda, why is coming off the bench kind of the best thing for you right now?
I think for me, it's just filling out the flow of the game, seeing what needs to be done, like seeing what doesn't need to be done, like just being able to fill that flow of the game, and then when I come in, do what my team needs me to do. And I feel like that's been best for me, and I've loved it. I've embraced it.
What's the best part for you coming off the bench?
I think just the energy, just trying to come in and bring all the energy that I can, give it to my team, and they do the same for me. So, like, nothing changes from if I'm starting or if I'm not. It's just the energy that I bring, that I feel like I bring coming onto the court when I do enter the court for my team.
Lana, 10 games into your college career, about a third of the way through this season, just for your own individual development at this point, what are you happy with you've been able to do, and obviously what things do you see for yourself here, maybe in the next 10-game stretch?
Yeah, so I think that I've been able to grow a lot, especially on the defensive end. I think that's always kind of been one of my weakest points. Worked on that all summer, all fall, still continuing to work on it. But just continuing to understand the little things like where I'm facing, where my feet are, like learning how to play smart defense in the post, on the perimeter. Kind of putting all those pieces together, I think that's come a long way. And I think that kind of showed today I had like 2 fouls maybe. And that's a lot better for me compared to the past games, just playing smarter, accumulating that knowledge like Coach said. And I think that's going to continue to grow. I think offensively, I've also learned a lot about just slowing down, because in the first few games I was very sped up, playing against girls who are similar size, similar strength. That was an adjustment for me, but I think I've kind of figured that out. And now it's just a matter of putting all the little things together, making shots, making free throws, playing smart defensively.
Rashonda, 2 games this week before the break. Just what do you need to see out of this team to kind of push itself forward to once you get back into Big Ten play to be ready for that?
Growth. I feel like this loss has to teach us something. We have to pull something out of this loss. Like Coach KG said, just being able to adjust in game, and not just when the coaches say it, but like I think in this game, Georgia ended up moving to the high post, so we should have took it fully away so she didn't have those shots instead of, playing how we usually would. So just adjusting in game, knowing what we're trying to do, and just keep believing that we are who we still think that we are, and we are who we think Purdue can be.
Katie, just getting into the offense a little bit quicker, is that something that you want to see, or are you happy with kind of the pace that you're doing that right now?
Yes and no. I think sometimes it like there are times when you're like, well, why are we starting on offense with 18 seconds? But I think especially early, we wanted to make sure we were making them guard for the whole shot clock. Try to get the ball to multiple sides of the floor. I think when I look at the Maryland game, breaking their press slowed us down, and we were kind of trying to get into some things a little late. It's Kelly and I work a lot on our offense, so we'll look a little bit at like what can we do and how can we make. The ball doesn't have to go back to Amaya to get us in a set, right? Like, or we let's get into our action. If Ella has the ball, or if Des has the ball, or whoever has the basketball, they can initiate something. And the more we can show them on tape, the more everybody else will be comfortable, just adjusting to different roles on the floor.
I think Sophie had 7 in the fourth quarter, and just her importance to this offense and getting production out of her as you get through this week, and then I'll start back Big Ten season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she can score the basketball at a high rate, and when she plays with really good pace, it helps our ball club. Like Lana said, when she gets sped up, and it can sometimes put us in some really, really bad situations. So it's just about her understanding pace and, understanding that, it's not always about, sometimes her job in the corner is just as important. I told her that the other day. Like, I lived in the corner a couple times on offensive possessions because you just stretch the defense out. And just the more and more she understands that and buys into her role, the larger role she'll have.
So your schedule is packed with some really tough matchups early on. What have you taken out for these last few games against top-ranked opponents as players and as a coach?
I think as players getting through these tough games, I don't think us playing South Carolina, I think us playing South Carolina and Notre Dame actually prepared us for, the teams like Kentucky and Maryland. And I think when we go into these games, we know that we've already seen similar athleticism, similar just better players. So just knowing that we've already been in this type of situation before, how can we grow from that situation and put it into a different game with a different name on their chest?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. I think the biggest thing that we're taking away from it is just how much growth we're having. I mean, we see it the day after a game in the practices. Like, I think we're all very motivated to get better because losing sucks, honestly. Like, it burns, it's hard. So wanting to get better, wanting to develop from that, I think that's a big thing that this team has and is going to continue to have throughout the season. So that when we're later down the stretch and we're playing UCLA, USC, and other highly ranked teams, we're going to know what to expect.
Yeah, I think they did a pretty good job explaining. I don't think we would have played Maryland as well as we did had we not played Notre Dame and South Carolina. Today Kentucky's a little bit different animal just because of their size and how well they shoot the basketball. And, Georgia just kind of elevates everybody's game around her. We all know that. That's no secret. She just takes everybody and just kind of, they're already good and she makes them that much better. And so now what happens when you get into conference play, you're playing against Iowa, we have Iowa out of the break and Lucy Olson, right? Very similar to Georgia more than the way she lifts everybody around her, a team that shoots it well around her, a very similar team. We play against Michigan State, a very similar team to Kentucky in the way they space the floor and shooting it. So we try to put ourselves in position. Obviously, I think Lana hit it right on, like losing sucks. And losing this way sucks. I don't know that Kentucky's 30 points better than us. I thought, the way we competed in the first half was the way we needed to execute and compete in the second half. And that didn't happen. But if we can continue to grow and learn and, tomorrow, like I told these guys, like let it burn, let it sit, and then tomorrow at 10:30, this is fine if we learn something from it, right? How do we keep growing? 10 games into the season, we've got 2 more non-conference games and then 17 Big Ten games. Let these games, these losses fuel us, but let who we played teach us something for, the 18-game grind of the Big Ten schedule that means the most.